Because I know you made a comment earlier saying that she don't claim her black side.
House, they, just like Barack Obama, they do what they need to do to stay close to the white power structure. She made a career locking up black people. This is the same woman who went on international television, Art, let me remind you, about a year or two ago and said America is not a racist country. You want me
He's
to
talking
go
about
vote for a
Kalama
so-called
Rice.
black woman
He's talking about
who went
Kalama
on
Rice. That's the name.
international television and told the world that America is not a racist country. She spit
Camilla
in
Rice.
the face of the family of Trayvon Martin. She spit in the face of the family of Breonna Taylor. She spit in the face of the family of Michael Brown, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Amir Locke, Dante. We can go on and on. Tamir Rice. All the Africans murdered by police, which are state-sanctioned executions. Let's be clear. The police are agents of the state. When the police kills a black person, that is a state-sponsored execution. And in response to all this racism, the execution of George Floyd, this part-time black woman says America is not racist. And when I say part-time, Art, I'm not poking fun at her because she's being mixed race. I want to be clear. I'm poking fun at her because she can rarely be found speaking up for black people. My issue ain't her being mixed race. Nobody's responsible for how they come into this world. My issue with her is not identifying with her people. I remember another interview I saw with Kamala Harris, Art, and she said, somebody asked her, what are y'all going to do for black people? And she said, we can't pass laws just for black people. She said this, we can't do things just for... Well, Kamala Harris, can I ask you a question, Madam Vice President? If the Democratic Party can't do anything just for black people, why did y'all pass a law only for Asians? Why did y'all pass a law only for Native Americans? Why did y'all pass a law only for transgenders? Why did y'all pass a law only for LGBTQs? Why did y'all pass a law only for immigrants? If you can't do anything just for black people, this is what she said. It came out of her mouth. If you can't do anything just for black people, how was it possible for you and President Biden to do all these other things for specific ethnic groups in this country from whose benefit no other group can take anything from? Complete contradiction. Kamala Harris is not for black people. But you know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you why they went that way. Or if they stay that way, they could flip around. But let's say for the sake of conversation, because Joe Biden did pass her his nomination, even though it's not his decision. She has his support, but the party got to choose her in Chicago. But let's say Kamala Harris gets the Democratic Party nomination in Chicago the week of my birthday, August 19th, I believe the DNC begins, or the 17th. Anyhow, here's why they're going to go that way, Art. Why are the Democrats about to give us the first woman president in American history? I'm going to tell you why. In 2022, there were 10 million more women registered to vote than men in America. Now I'm talking everybody, Art. Black, white, red, yellow, brown, gay, straight, everybody. There were 10 million more women registered to vote than men, even though there's only about 3 more million women than men in this country. Population-wise, there's not a great gender disparity. You only see that when you come to the black community for reasons of extermination, incarceration, okay, miseducation.
This is Dr. Umar
right,
Johnson.
and sexual confusion, right? So outside of black America, the male-female gender balance is almost the same. I believe there's 168 million adult women in America, and there's about 165 million adult men in America. So you only have a 3 million person discrepancy. Now, those 10 million votes, there's 10 million more women registered to vote than men are. Elections have been decided by votes less than 10 million. You had elections decided by 1 million. You had elections decided by 2 million. You've had elections decided by 3 million. You've had elections decided by 700,000 votes. If there's 10 million more women registered to vote than men in America across all race, colors, and class, if we nominate Kamala Harris as the Democratic Party's president, can she bring us those women votes, those undecided women? Can Kamala Harris bring us all the poor black women, the working class black women, the upper class? Can she bring us the white middle class women? Can she bring us the poor white women? They are banking on the fact that there's 10 million more women than men registered. And if we stick Kamala Harris out there for us, can she bring us the greatest share of those 10 million female votes? Here's what it's going to come down to. Do white women prefer a woman of color or a white man? That's what it's going to. Do white American women prefer to have a white man in the presidency or a woman of color? And you know what I think, Art? I'm not completely decided. But I would say to you, wasn't this question already answered for us when Donald Trump took on Hillary Clinton? Did not America's white women choose Trump over Clinton? When it came time for the Electoral College to cast them votes, they went with Trump. So if they chose Trump over Clinton, here's the question, Art. If American white women chose Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton the first time Trump ran against a Democratic female, why would they switch and choose Kamala Harris over Trump the second time? If they chose Trump over a very well-experienced, very popular Hillary Clinton the first time, why would they switch and now choose a black woman, half black, half South Asian, half East Indian? Why would they choose a black woman over Trump when they didn't even choose Hillary Clinton over Trump? But I'm telling you this, brother. I'm going to the Democratic National Convention. I'm going to try to get there because that's going to be a circus. You ain't seen a Nick show in your life like what you're about to see, because they got to outdo Hulk Hogan. They got to outdo Amber Rose. They got to outdo Ben Carson. You want to see a house food show in Chicago like you have never seen. I cannot wait to see which rapper. I cannot wait to see which rapper, which basketball player, which football player, which comedian, which actor. I cannot wait to see which one of these house Nick celebrities is going to go to bat for the Democratic Party. And here's my thing, Art. I'm not dismissing the black celebrities for speaking at the Democratic National Convention just for that reason. I'm dismissing them, Art, because they're going to go up there, show up and show out for the Democrats without a single promise to their community, without a single pledge to their community, without a single concession to their community. With all we've been through and all we're about to go through, how the hell can you fly your ass to Chicago, basketball player, football player, rapper, actor, dancer, singer, comedian? How can you go up there and show up and show out for Kamala Harris, who never did a damn thing for black people? That's my issue. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Every black person listening to me, on November the 5th, you need to be in a black community when the election results are read. My bougie Nick living in the suburbs, living in an all-white community, you do not want to be caught outside on November the 5th if Donald Trump loses. Because here's my thinking, Art. We only got 3 months and a few weeks to the presidential election. Let me say that again. We only got 3 months and a few weeks to the presidential election on November 5th. You mean to tell me Joe Biden backs out with 3 months left, anoints Kamala to his spot? She only got 3 months to campaign, and you still going to beat a very popular Donald Trump? Do you think the American people are going to believe Donald Trump lost fairly after y'all tried him in court, convicted him in court? And I know we'll get later to the artificial assassination, but nonetheless, do you really think Americans are going to believe Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump straight up? I'm not too sure about that.
Nope. Set up.
Robbed of this election, takeover, That was nothing.
It's going to be worse. It's going to be worse.
For what you're about to see in this country.
It's going to be worse.
This election. I would not want to be a
Talk about your guns and stay home. Suck up on your guns and your food and stay the freak home.
Presidential election results are read.
That's Trump lost.
Trump is not the winner.
If he lost, talk up on the guns beforehand and your food stuff and stay the freak home.
A knife. Black people better exercise, what is it, our Second Amendment right?
I said it before.
Right to carry,
Yep.
is that the Second Amendment?
I said it before. Yep.
I want to say the second.
I think it's the second. Black folks better exercise their right to carry. You better
Yep.
buy every gun, every bullet.
I said the same thing.
Because if Donald J. Trump loses
What happened?
this election, going against a Democrat who had 3 months to run, you had 3 months to run and you beat Donald Trump, white America gonna flip off, Art. I'm going to make sure I'm ready, brother. Make sure you're ready.
Yep.
And I want all my American
Yep.
Africans out there, wherever
Be
you
ready.
live in America,
Be ready.
especially if you're in a city that's predominantly white.
Exactly.
If you're
Be
in a
ready.
state that's predominantly white. You know, we in Philly, which is half black, half white, 50-50. You know what I mean? But black people, please be prepared for what can happen.
Okay, go grandma. Go grandma, okay. I'm doing a video. Okay.
Loses that election. And to that point, Art, this is why I think the shadow government has a lot of deciding and a lot of reasoning and a lot of debating to do. Because here's the thing, Art. If you steal the election from Trump and give it to the Democratic Party, whether it's Kamala or anyone else, because you want to make sure China doesn't take over Africa, and you want to make sure China doesn't take over the Caribbean, and you want to make sure China doesn't take over second and third world, Central and South America. So you want a Democrat in there because Democrats have always had better relationships with black countries. If you do that, you might win the world, but you might lose America.
Yep.
Because if these white folks flip out, Art, look, let's be honest. The American public has more weapons than the American military. Let me say that again.
Yep.
The
American public have
350 million people.
more
They
weapons
have more guns
than
the
the
US
military. Yep.
Now, the military has better weapons.
Yep.
The military has better weapons. But the people have more,
More,
weapons.
yeah, especially right
American
next.
military is no more than 500,000 people, Art.
Speaking right next.
It's
Oh
no more than
man.
500,000. How you want to put 500,000 against 350 million with more weapons? You're not winning that.
Not gonna win.
If the U.S. military has to go to war with their own citizens, I believe the U.S. military
Would lose. They would lose.
And I believe a lot of people in the U.S.
Gonna die.
military will side with the American people. And by American people, I mean white American people. So the National Security Agency, the Council on Foreign Relations, the
CFA.
Bilderbergers,
Yep.
the Federal Reserve,
The CFA, the Trilateral, the Council of Foreign Affairs, the Illuminati, the House of Rooms, House of Malta, the Rothschilds, yep, all go on, yep.
The families, the
Yep.
Rockefellers,
Yep.
they got to ask themselves, if we rob Donald Trump so we can maintain Africa and the Caribbean, will that lead
To a civil war.
social unrest in America? Will America degenerate into chaos?
Yes, it
Will
will.
we have to evoke martial law?
Yes,
That's a
it
hell
will.
of a decision to
Yes,
make.
it will.
Do I go for the resources or do I maintain American status quo? Because, Art, if America breaks down internally, China is the new superpower.
So true.
The only thing keeping China from being the world superpower right now is this country.
It's America.
If this country descends into chaos, China runs the
Take
world.
over, yep.
Does the power structure, does the secret government of this country really want China in charge? That's the question.
No, they don't.
Yeah, that's real talk.
So, yeah, no, they
That's
don't.
one Ted Williams old joint, right?
I believe they did. I believe they did. But you know, politics and entertainment, those two
But anyway, let
worlds
me cut it
are
short,
very
folks. If you want to see the
similar.
whole
And
thing,
what I mean by that, people often date.
if you want to see the whole thing, look, there's the whole thing. Check the whole thing on YouTube. That's the whole thing right there on YouTube, folks. I'm going to cut it short because it's too long. I keep my videos short. But like I said before, probably, stock up on the weapons. I said it before. In my mind, I guess the same thing. If Trump lost, it's going to be chaos. Stock up on food stuff. Stock up on your weapons. It's going to get crazy. I said it before in my videos, and I can say it again. If Trump lost, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos. Stock up on your weapons and your food stuff, folks. I'm out of here. Peace out. Lots of love.